Welcome, everyone. We're live this morning, and we're talking about nowhere to hide. Well, can't hide from yourself. That's why there is nowhere to hide. Simply because, if you think about this, you are always aware that you are. And so long as that is there, you're going to ask the question, who am I? And you're going to want to learn about yourself. That is a natural thing for us to do. It is an effect of being aware of yourself. Now you want to know. Now you want to know yourself because you're aware that you're here. But now what do I do? Who am I? What do I like to do? So you start to learn about yourself. Right? That learning about yourself portion is so key. It's key because when you know your own nature, now you know how you are going to behave. Now you know, okay, I do this, I do it this way. If I need to change, I can just reverse engineer and do it this way over here. This is why it's important to get to know yourself. But you see, for some reason, humanity is almost like they're afraid of their shadow. They're afraid of what they are. How interesting is that? That the only person who's qualified to rescue you or counsel you is you. But we don't take the time. How does one take the time? This morning will be short, sweet, and to the point. How do we listen? How do we spend time with ourselves? Some people will walk. Some people will draw. Some will paint. Some will bake. Some will lay incredibly still. Right? All in the opinion of learning who and what they are. That's what it is. That part will never get old for you. Because when you begin to feel your own presence, you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like anywhere you go. And you walk in what you know. So today, as you go through the day, on your mind, become aware of the fact that, yeah, I'm here. But, blessings. So what can I explore about myself? See, it's in these moments also that lots of solutions come out of the silent space. It may feel as if it is silent because you can't hear anything, right? Clearly. But it's not silent in that aspect where there's no noise, or there's very specific noise, which is the solution to whatever problems you may have. But it comes with the quiet. At first, that's what it does. It comes with the quiet. And then more and more as you become familiar with yourself, you don't necessarily need the quiet. You'll just reach out and feel for what it is. Why? Because you practiced doing it. We've practiced doing it. Let's do one right now, because we used to slide these in here every now and then. If you're driving, focus on the street, because that's where you are. But if you're okay, this is what I mean by reaching out. This is what Neville means when he says to reach out. If you're in a safe space, take a moment and just do a couple deep breaths. about 3 or 4 of them. Now, you see, your body is a lot more relaxed. Allow it to continue relaxing, just to get heavy. Take your time. There you go. You get a sense of who you are. Now, I want you to choose any thought that puts a smile on your face, warmth in your heart. Find one of those thoughts. It puts a smile on your face and warmth in your heart. Just any thought that does that to you. Okay, so now you have the thought. How does it make you feel? Let's pay attention to that part. How does it make you feel? Okay, bear with me. I'm going to put him in the closet because I want you to get a sense. Oh boy. Come, sweet bread. You were so, so good. Come. Oh, sugar boys. Come. No. You had me fooled. Thank you for your patience. Oh, my word. So let's begin the exercise again if you can. When you take that moment to just clear your mind by breathing, you're not clearing your mind of thoughts. You're just clearing the mind, which means reducing the amount of noise. So focusing on a singular thing. And that singular thing you focus on is the way you want to feel. The way you want to feel. Then you can capture that feeling and hold it. And then let it go. See, this is the practice, being able to call up an emotion, to call up a thought. This art right here is mental transmutation. You're taking something unsavory in your mind's eye and you're pulling up something better. Over and over and over until it becomes your second nature to always be in tune with where you are so you can change right away if it is undesirable. Or being able to maintain your focus to bring things into solid reality. It may seem as though it is a tedious task. But remember what Neville said, how he used to practice. He would sit in one room and he would see the chair with the telephone on it. And he would send his thoughts over there, his consciousness over there. And that's what he would practice doing. Not moving from where he was in the living room, but staying there and using his imagination to put him into the other space. And he would practice that over and over and over. And he got so good, people would see him where he actually wasn't physically. But why am I saying this to you? Because it is you. You have to know where you are and what you're doing. It seems like a lot of work, but let me reassure you, it only begins to feel that way in the very beginning when you are now learning something new. Because look at what we've practiced. We've practiced on a daily basis, always mulling over the crappy things that people have said to us, whether it was 20 years ago, 2 minutes ago, 5 hours ago. That's what we do. We practice going back there and replaying it. See what you're aware of? And then, because you're back there and you're fiddling with it all the time and reliving it, now you get to re-experience it. And then you forget that that's what you've been thinking about incessantly all day. And then you ask yourself, why is this thing not changing? That's why it's important to take the quiet time to learn oneself. What you feel like, what you think like, or what kinds of thoughts you allow to come to you. Right? That's why that part is important. Because you've got to have the ability to point yourself or polarize yourself at will, meaning you can just say left and you go left, right and you go right. That is essential. It is very essential, and it will not become clear to you until you practice it for yourself to see and experience the benefits. Do not let it be enough to take hearsay. We don't take hearsay, experience. So you learn how to test it. And this is where we start, with that silence. So let's take a moment to welcome everyone into the space this morning. This is Shay, my second one. Hello, a pleasure to see you here on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Jeff. Jeff is hilarious. He says, now we know how a little bit feels. And he was asleep. Maybe he was pretending to sleep. I don't know. Who's here on fan base with us this morning? We have Miss Crenshaw. Happy is in the house. Zesty. Wait. Mansa is here. Joaquim is here. Fawn, Moon, Miss Boricua is here. Ali is here. Flo Smiles is here. And Oracle Treehouse. Oh, and so is Driving Tea. It's good to see you. So this morning, remember, there is nowhere to hide. You cannot hide from yourself. You can't sit and pretend you don't know you're sitting in the corner, okay? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So don't hide. Learn yourself. Comprehend. Do I even remember it verbatim? I don't, but Hosea 4 verse 6. My people, this version says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Do you hear that word? How so? In the overwhelm of our thoughts and not knowing that we can change things. Well, if you don't know that you are the root cause and you can change any situation and you just carry on in life as if you're that tennis ball tossed to and fro, well, then you remain as you are. And that's not what we want. We want the ability to change. But you've got to practice changing at will. Wherever you put your attention, that's where you say you want to be. And that's what it means to be at will. You can just turn your attention. Oh, look, squirrels, you know. You turn it wherever it is you want it to be. That's the art. So that if you find yourself caught up in a particular frame of thinking, You've practiced so much that you just squash that thought right away. You know? That's why you practice. Because everywhere you go, well, there you are. That's how it is. So begin to learn what you feel like, what you think like. Know yourself more and more. And it comes in the silence. You know, just as you've woken up or as you're falling asleep. Those are the most beautiful times. They really are. Relish those times where you don't have to be anywhere. Just those moments. And something beautiful happens to you in those moments. They feel so good to you. You want more and more of them, so you cultivate more of it. That's why I love the law. The more you get into it, the sweeter it gets, and you're just like, okay, I got this. I can do this. That's the point, right? Anywho, I said I wasn't going to keep you long. Remember today, spend that quiet time with yourself and bring up a sensation or a thought that makes you feel pleasant. How many times can you bring it up and how long can you hold it each time? This is how you would practice to maintain your attention upon the thing that you are building in your mind's eye, or the clothing that you're trying on in your mind's eye. That's what you're doing. And you know that when it holds your attention and it feels natural to you, it materializes. But if you can't hold your attention, you're going to be waiting a long time. You see, it is essential to practice. Now let's get the bowl out. Let's get the bowl out. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Twitter, Driving Tea. Always a pleasure to see you today. We're promoting that quiet. Slide into quiet and see what happens. Enjoy the rest of the day, Driving Tea. Much love to you. I'll see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the lecture. YouTube and Facebook, thank you for being here this morning. If you're wondering why I'm so short, I've got a swiftly approaching end date for narration. So I usually get that done early in the day. So, but YouTube and Facebook, I will see you tonight. Yes? 10:45 p.m.